starts now with your forecast first.
Good evening, and what a difference a day makes. It has been a beautiful afternoon with, at times, a nice breeze that felt almost, dare I say, fall-like, maybe early fall. That wind has settled, though. We're down to about 10 miles per hour or less, and we're going to keep the calmer wind overnight to the next couple of days. But we also get to keep some of the slightly cooler, closer to average temps. Here's where we're sitting now. We're at 70 in Montreal, also in Burlington at 64, in Plattsburgh 61, in Middlebury. Low 60s through the Northeast Kingdom and down through the Connecticut River Valley as well. 62 in Lebanon. It's also where Rutland checks in. Saranac Lake already down to 53. Could we find the 40s in the Adirondacks tonight? We'll talk about it in your forecast in just a few moments. Local 44 News starts now.
Watching local news that matters. This is Local 44 News at 10.
Well, good evening and thanks for being here. I'm Devin Bates, filling in for Lauren Maloney. Well, just into the newsroom at this hour, the Milton police want to know what led up to a deadly crash on Route 7. It happened just before 1 this afternoon near the Forbes Road intersection. Police say 72-year-old Lynn Evans was driving north in an SUV when he drifted across the center line and crashed into an oncoming car. He died at the scene, and the driver of the other car, 28-year-old Travis Jett, was taken to UVM Medical Center with what we're told are severe injuries. Jett's car was off the road and upside down when officers arrived. Call the Milton Police Department if you saw the crash. Well, 147 Vermont inmates being held at a prison in Mississippi have now tested positive for COVID-19. Last week, the Vermont Department of Corrections ordered tests of all inmates held at the Tallahatchie County Correctional Facility. The order came after 6 of them tested positive upon returning to Vermont. DOC Interim Commissioner Jim Baker said officials will be heading to Mississippi tomorrow.
Our medical director is going there. He's going to be checking on medical operations. We're also sending down our facilities and operation chief in order to check on protocols and processes that are being followed.
62 Vermont inmates at the prison have tested negative, 8 refused testing, and 2 tests are still pending. We now move to the latest coronavirus numbers from throughout our region. 5 new cases in Vermont tonight. 2 of them are in Rutland County. Franklin, Windham, and Washington counties each have 1. No new infections in our New Hampshire coverage area, which is Grafton and Sullivan counties. 27 new cases across the Granite State, but no new deaths. And turning to New York's North Country, 1 new patient in Franklin County tonight. Clinton and Essex County don't have any. For county-by-county breakdown, our website is always on. Just click on the COVID tracker. Well, there's no question it's been difficult to adapt to the many ways the pandemic has affected most of our lives, and that's on top of the day-to-day stress many of us already felt. But Local 44's Ncaa looks at a resource for these uncertain times that's expanding its reach.
According to a recent study published by VPR and PBS, a significant number of Vermonters are experiencing anxiety or stress that has been directly caused by the pandemic.
About 40% have real anxiety related to the pandemic, and then about 70% have real financial worries. And that, causes stress and anxiety, and that's completely in result of the pandemic.
And while the financial piece is a huge catalyst of stress and anxiety, Department of Mental Health Deputy Commissioner Morning Fox says an even larger factor could be all of the uncertainty surrounding the pandemic.
There's a lot of unknowns related to this. When will the pandemic end? When can I get back to work? What's going to happen with schools? Are my family safe? Is my children safe? Will my job be here? Those kind of things. And we as human beings don't deal well with the unknown.
One local program, COVID Support Vermont, was formed in March when Governor Phil Scott enacted the state of emergency. Its goal is to educate people on what we're going through while helping people seek the proper resources they need to assist with coping.
If people have coping strategies and tools that they can use on their own, it helps them mitigate their stress. So we have produced educational materials and resources, wellness, self-help tips for folks to manage their stress right now.
Experts say taking care of friends and family can be a stress reliever, but
I think part of it is about education and really just
reminding people that we're all in this and we're all being impacted, and you have to take time to care for yourself too, even if it feels like there's absolutely no time to do that.
Ncaa, Local 44 News.
Thank you, Nick. And speaking of stress, one of the most common sources of it during this pandemic has been financial hardship. A Burlington-based nonprofit wants to help you free up some extra money before cold weather arrives. Local 44's Courtney Adelman heard from Efficiency Vermont about how they're trying to do it.
Efficiency Vermont aims to help Vermont transition to a cleaner and more affordable future by helping Vermonters reduce their home energy costs, make their homes healthier, and encourage investments to support the local community.
In light of the economic hardship brought on for so many of us because of COVID-19, we've designed a number of programs for some of the hardest hit sectors of our economy to help to put money back into Vermonters' pockets.
Efficiency Vermont says they are offering the highest ever incentives to help Vermonters save money in time for the cold weather. Community Engagement Manager Becca White says one of the best ways to save money and energy is through weatherization.
We know now that almost all homes can benefit from weatherization. Weatherization is like wearing a sweater and a windbreaker during chilly seasons.
White says you can weatherize your house on your own by weatherizing windows, doors, and insulating pipes.
But once you get into those deeper projects, you're really going to want to have a qualified contractor.
White also explained how heat pumps can be a good way to stay warm in the winter and stay cool in the summer.
Your spending is going further. You're not burning fossil fuels in your home.
White also says some simple tips you can do right now to save energy this summer include opening the window to let some breeze in, waiting to do things like laundry or the dishes until the evening, and avoiding using things like the oven, and try grilling outside instead. Reporting in Burlington, Courtney Adelman, Local 44 News.
In education matters, the Winooski School District is receiving nearly $60 million to build a new campus. The grants were announced by the U.S. Department of Agriculture this morning. Local 44's Courtney Kramer has more.
This money will go toward completely redesigning and renovating the grounds at Winooski Central Schools. Now, the school is home to all students in Winooski, grades K through 12. A makeover with a $57.8 million price tag is coming to students, parents, and teachers in the Onion City. The USDA says it's the most money they've ever allocated toward community infrastructure projects within the Green Mountain State.
They're going to be able to build a facility that is modern, state-of-the-art, has broadband e-connectivity. In the light of COVID, they will be able to make any adjustments that they need to do with that.
Vermont State Director Anthony Leonardo says each year the Rural Development Program invests about $200 million around Vermont. He says school leaders described current conditions as there being bathrooms in closets and classrooms in bathrooms. Voters approved the bond in May of last year.
So the need certainly was in Winooski. We were glad to help facilitate that, but it was the innovative people of Winooski who really had the foresight to know that this infrastructure investment was necessary and inevitable.
In a statement, school leaders say this investment is expected to save taxpayers in Winooski $11 million over the course of the project. Thursday, the superintendent is planning a press conference where we expect to learn more details about the renovation plans moving forward. For Local 44 News, I'm Courtney Kramer reporting.
Thank you, Courtney. The receiver appointed to oversee Jay Peak and Burke Mountain gets a federal loan. The purpose to help keep the ski resorts open and keep the employees working. This, according to the Caledonian Record. A federal judge has approved the receiver's request for a more than $3.2 million coronavirus relief loan. Jay Peak and Burke Mountain hope to boost staffing by November to prepare for the ski season. The resort's former owner, Ariel Quiros, is awaiting trial on a dozen federal charges related to investment fraud. New York higher ed employees also seeking their own kind of coronavirus relief. Coming up, how testing requirements will be different this fall from one school to another. And cleanup work from Tropical Storm Isaias continues in hundreds of places. How that effort is going in the Big Apple.
Then we're kicking off on a long stretch of quiet weather to follow up our early week tropical storm. A couple of cool nights ahead, and then temps warm. Once again, it is still August after all. We're talking near 90 for several days. It's in your forecast.
It's Local 44 News at 10 with Lauren Maloney, Chief Meteorologist Amanda Tebow, and Sports with Angelique Martinez. Local news that matters on Local 44 News.
Well, many students and staff within New York State College and University system have safety concerns ahead of returning to campus this fall. Local 44's Karina Capabianca looks at why the nation's largest higher ed union is speaking out.
United University Professions held a virtual rally with hundreds of staff, students, and lawmakers calling for more precautions on SUNY campuses, especially when it comes to testing.
Today, what we are calling for is to make each other, especially those who carry the heaviest burdens due to generations of racism and injustice, safe from further ravages of the coronavirus pandemic.
Some SUNY campuses like UAlbany are requiring all students coming for the fall semester to show proof of a negative coronavirus test before their arrival. Syracuse University, which is a private institution, is mandating that for its students as well. But not all campuses are the same when it comes to testing. Some SUNY Fredonia students have taken up their concerns with the administration through a letter asking for testing requirements that has garnered about 900 signatures.
Our asks are to test all students, faculty, and staff for COVID-19 prior to their arrival and undergo pooled and individual testing for residential students, both at the beginning of the semester and periodically throughout the semester.
We know that the currently available guidance and evidence shows that allowing untested individuals from across New York State and the country to condense on campus will pose a great potential harm to the larger Fredonia community.
Hahn says that testing would reduce the chance of students having to go back to total distance learning or return back home before the semester ends due to COVID spread. We reached out to SUNY about UUP's concerns. In a statement, a SUNY spokesperson said, "The health and safety of our students, faculty, and staff is our highest priority, and our campuses are prepared for fall reopening in the coming weeks with plans that align with strict New York State guidance. And like we did during the spring spring semester, we will be ready to make adjustments or otherwise escalate our plans further to maintain that high level of safety and wellness that the SUNY community deserves. UUP is also asking SUNY to have stricter mask requirements on campuses. In Albany, Karina Capabianca.
Elsewhere in the Empire State, thousands of people in New York City and on Long Island are still in the dark tonight. As Natalie Duddridge shows us, crews across the Big Apple are clearing hundreds of roads blocked by fallen trees during Tropical Storm Isaias.
A silver car crushed under the weight of this tree that came down near 46th Avenue and 206th Street.
With all the wind and everything? Yes, it was very scary.
This man alerted his next door neighbor, the owner of the car. She didn't want to give her name, but tells us luckily she was inside her house with her 3 kids when the tree fell and says she cried when she saw the damage. Across the street, this resident says the overhead wires just barely stopped the tree from hitting her own car.
It was very scary. Yes, it was, with all the wind and everything.
Residents say thank goodness no one was hurt here, like in the Briarwood section of Queens, where police say 60-year-old Mario Siles died when a tree fell on his vehicle at 143rd Street and 84th Drive. Over in Harlem, Amin Mubarak put up caution tape and started directing traffic around this tree blocking the road near 111th Street.
Take care of stuff until the fire department came to move the tree. The police said the fire department was going to do it. They never came.
Some residents say they spent hours calling 311 to report all the damage. Like in Brooklyn at 86 and Narrows, you can see a large tree brought down wires onto a bus, and another took out 3 cars at 72nd Street off 3rd Avenue.
Yeah, Mother Nature wins. The tree always wins.
Con Edison says more than 7,000 wires are down. As of this morning, 98,000 New Yorkers were without power, about half of them, 46,000, in Queens. Authorities say it will take days to replace poles, wires, and transformers knocked down by winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour.
Again, Natalie Duddridge with that story, and a different story has the Coast Guard's attention following the storm. Coming up, how they say you can prevent what happened today to 2 local kayakers from happening to you.
And if you're already making those weekend plans, I've got to look at that. Temps will be warming by that point for the next couple of days. We're going to enjoy a bit of a cool down. I'll let you know how much next.
Local news that matters on Local 44 News. Now, Chief Meteorologist Amanda Tebow with your Sky Tracker forecast.
A lot of us hit the 70s today and stalled there, but many more made it into the low 80s. And it may not have felt like it to you. I think 82 comes as a surprise for a lot of folks in Burlington, 84 in Lebanon, because we have this nice breeze out of the west, then southwest at a good 10 to 15 miles per hour. If you kind of closed your eyes for just a moment, maybe it felt more like mid-September, kind of those first few days of fall, and you notice little changes in the air. I got to tell you, it's not here to stay. We are diving headfirst back into summer. It's early August after all. There are several near 90-degree days on your 7-day forecast. But the reprieve continues at least through the end of this week. 76 was your high in Montpelier, 79 in Middlebury and Rutland, 75 in Newport, 70 in Saranac Lake, where we are already down to low 50s now. Had a couple of showers to kick off the day too, a couple of stragglers thanks to a cold front. That cold front, of course, part of the main steering aspect of Isaias, right? Pushing it off to the northeast at such a fast clip that it really didn't leave as large of a footprint on our immediate region as initially expected. Good thing. So we can thank that cold front for a lot, right? For not only giving us a break from the heat, but also being that driving steering force. High pressure now has us in its grasp. That's coming off the Ohio River Valley and the Great Lakes, and it promises a stretch of really nice weather to close out the week. Not only do we have that slightly cooler top temp, we've got cooler overnight lows. We've got a lot of sunshine too. Clouds started to clear late today. We stay clear overnight, aside from perhaps a bit of patchy fog. Now, there's a lot going into this fog forecast here. Number one, it's very dry, so it's going to be hard. The air is, I should say, for the fog to form. But we do still have some very saturated soil, and now that the wind has settled, it's possible. So patchy dense fog, something that may be there when you wake up tomorrow morning. Otherwise, I think the big headline grabber for you tonight is the fact that you can shut the AC off, open up the window, maybe put a fan in the window, and you'll be completely comfortable. We're down to the 50s, if not upper 40s in colder hollows of the Adirondacks and perhaps the Green Mountains too. I would not be surprised either through the Northeast Kingdom. We find a few spots that briefly visit, say 48 or 49 degrees. And we do it for 2 nights in a row. So tonight and tomorrow night feature lows in the 50s. In between, you've got tomorrow, of course, and tomorrow is mostly sunny, just a handful of fair weather clouds passing by. Friday starts sunny, but Friday will end up with more cloud cover from the Adirondacks to central and southern Vermont and New Hampshire, but the chance for a shower is very, very slim. A lot of the rain's going to stay just sort of on our periphery, but I wouldn't rule out maybe closing out Friday with a little bit of rain, mainly along and south of US Route 2 in Vermont and then, say, Sullivan County in New Hampshire. All right, your 7-day forecast. I told you there are a lot of days near 90, so enjoy the cooler weather while it's here. Soon enough, you know, we'll be missing summer, so take advantage of those mid and upper 80s this weekend and do something fun. This forecast can be found online at mychamplainvalley.com. It's always under the word weather.
Yeah, another weekend, good one to get outside. I know the Colchester Causeway recently opened back up. That's a good activity for those days when it's 85, 87 degrees out for sure.
Yeah, go for a bike ride, go swimming. A little bit of cloud cover early Saturday, but the rest of the weekend's beautiful.
All right, thanks, Amanda. Speaking of outside, Vermont is about to start getting more than twice as much money to preserve outdoor recreation as it used to. The new federal law making it possible coming up.
Local news that matters on Local 44 News. Local news that matters on Local 44 News.
Recreation matters. The Coast Guard wants to remind you how to keep out of trouble when you're enjoying a day out on the water. It comes after two separate incidents, both reported today, of kayakers capsizing in our region, one in Vermont and one in New York. According to a petty officer at the Coast Guard station in Burlington, Tropical Storm Isaias makes this a particularly good time to bring the subject up.
Whenever you're going out, make sure you're always wearing a life jacket. You always have a whistle on you. And if you're going out at night, make sure you have a light or some type of, like a strobe light to get people's attention.
Petty Officer Andrew Cheney also suggests researching the local hazards and weather conditions and always letting someone else know where and when you plan to go. Whether you head out on the water, go for a hike, or do something else, many outdoor recreation activities lend themselves to physical distancing. It's made them more popular during the pandemic, and as Local 44's Libby Faro shows us, a new federal law will help protect those activities in our region for a long time to come.
On Tuesday, President Trump signed the Great American Outdoors Act into law. The U.S. Senate passed the measure in June, and the House followed last month.
With the passing of the Great American Outdoors Act, Vermont is able to fix things since funding is allocated to do so.
COVID continues to dominate all of our lives and our minds. You know, outdoor recreation has played and continues to play a strong positive role, one of the few shining bright places in all of this.
The new law will offer $3 billion each year for conservation projects nationwide to protect parks, public lands, and outdoor recreation.
Important for the well-being of each of us to be outdoors and to do all we can with physical activity. But it's important to a community that it have access nearby to the beauty of where it is they live. And the land and conservation funding, which is going to increase 150% for Vermont, is going to allow many of our local organizations, many of our select boards, who want to make that commitment to their citizens to put a project together like this, that they can accomplish that.
The Great American Outdoors Act should help make sure Americans have access to outdoor recreation venues close to home, while ensuring safety without overcrowding for generations to come.
I also want to stress that this bill is about our future, not just what's happened in the past with the power of this funding. This is a message, and the passage of this bill is a message to our children, saying that Americans believe and are willing to invest in a fundamental right to a welcoming, accessible, and inspiring out of doors.
Libby Faro, Local 44 News, Williston.
Well, President Trump has widely attacked the prospect of expanding mail-in voting for this fall, but coming up, there is one state where he says he's willing to make an exception.
Local news that matters on Local 44 News. Local 44 News starts now with your forecast first.
Still 70 degrees in Burlington at this hour, but 53 now in Saranac Lake. A lot of us are going to end up in the 50s tonight. We're already there, which means we may find some upper 40s when we wake up tomorrow morning in the Adirondacks and possibly through the Green Mountains or Northeast Kingdom too. 61 in Newport, 64 in Montpelier, Middlebury's at 60, Plattsburgh also checking in at 64, it's 63 in St. Johnsbury and Keene, 61 in Springfield, 62 degrees in Rutland. All right, we talked about it before, long, quiet stretch, both ends of the spectrum as far as temps. We've got those potential 40s and 50s tonight, but several near 90-degree days. I'll let you know when heat settles back in the forecast. Local 44 News continues now.
Watching local news that matters. This is Local 44 News at 10:30.
A South Burlington man is scheduled to go to court next month after being charged with hate-motivated disorderly conduct. The South Burlington Police Department says he's 24-year-old Randy McKenty. He's accused of targeting a family of color that lives in the same building as him by writing a racial slur on their car. Investigators say they have surveillance video of him writing the graffiti on Farrell Street last month. Vermont State Police are trying to discover what caused a fire in Sharon early Wednesday morning that destroyed a house. Troopers say the home on Lent Road burned to the ground shortly after midnight. By the time fire crews could get there, the roof had already collapsed. No one was home, and no firefighters were hurt either. If you know what might have happened, VSP is asking you to call the Williston Barracks. Autopsy results are pending tonight on a woman in North Conway, New Hampshire, who died when a tree fell onto her apartment building. Police say it happened shortly before 7:30 last night when Tropical Storm Isaias blew through the area. The impact trapped another woman in the basement. She called police and was rescued safely, but crews found a 60-year-old woman dead on the second floor. Police say the tree caused extensive damage to the building and brought down several power lines. Around the nation, the U.S. is on track to surpass 5 million COVID-19 cases this weekend. And last night, for the first time since April, President Trump attended a briefing of his coronavirus task force. His campaign is also suing the state of Nevada over its effort to expand mail-in voting. As Joe John shows us, this comes at the same time the president is encouraging people in Florida to vote by mail.
President Trump again insisting the coronavirus pandemic is under control.
We're seeing indications that our strong mitigation efforts are working very well, actually.
Cherry-picking data to make his handling of the crisis appear more favorable while cases and deaths continue to rise across the country.
Thanks to substantial improvements in treatment and the knowledge we have gained about the disease itself, the recent rise in cases has not been accompanied by a significant increase in deaths.
Trump's statement is misleading. While there are now significantly fewer deaths a day in comparison to April, in the past month the rate has nearly doubled, from about 544 a day to 1,056 a day.
We are not winning this game. We have more cases, but more importantly, we have more hospitalizations and more deaths than any other country in the world.
The president also repeating his false claims, saying the U.S. has such a high level of cases because of increased testing.
We are testing at a level that no country in the world, and I've spoken to the leaders of the world and they'll ask me about it, no country in the world thought it would be, it's even believable that we're able to test so much.
Many states are still facing a backlog in testing, with some Americans waiting days or even weeks to receive results. Health experts say the United States is not testing enough.
You don't get coronavirus from doing a test. It's to try and find people who are infected, isolate them, quarantine their contacts, and from a public health perspective, bring the numbers down. We've never gotten to that point.
After attacking mail-in voting for the upcoming election, Trump says he'll make an exception for only one key swing state.
Florida's got a great Republican governor. Florida's done a great job, and we have total confidence that if you mail in your ballot in Florida, it's going to matter.
Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, the debate over a new stimulus package continues.
So if the Democrats are serious on negotiating, we can do a deal.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin meeting for the 7th time, saying they'll try to make a deal by the end of the week.
We have to have an agreement,
and we will have an agreement, but we're not going to do it at the expense of America's working families.
Again, that's Joe Johns reporting. Now, since taking office, President Trump himself has voted by mail at least 3 times. One of those occasions, the Florida presidential primary back in March. And the Sunshine State has allowed mail-in voting with no questions asked ever since its recount debacle in 2000. Now, you may remember the punch card ballots it was using back then made the phrases hanging chads and dimpled chads famous. And if there's a way to cheat at a sport or competitive activity, our former sports director will find it. But coming up, is there a way to cheat at skateboarding? Aaron Cofield will find out in tonight's Throwback Darren Aaron segment.
This is Local 44 News at 10 with Lauren Maloney, Chief Meteorologist Amanda Tebow, and Sports with Angelique Martinez. Local news that matters on Local 44 News.
Well, in tonight's Throwback Darren Aaron segment, Aaron Cofield is throwing it way back to just the 4th segment to ever hit the airwaves here on Local 44, the Classics. Aaron was challenged to find out if she had any talent for skateboarding.
A lot has changed since the taping of this throwback segment in February 2015. Most notably, Talent Skate Park closed its doors, but then they were sorely missed and decided to reopen in a new location on Burton's campus in South Burlington.
On any given night, Talent Skate Park in South Burlington is full of skateboarders perfecting their skills. Rich Bowen started skating back in 1999.
I watched the X Games on TV, and I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And then I got a skateboard because I wanted to fit in with the cool kids at school.
15 years later, it remains a fixture in his life.
And now I don't think any of those kids skate anymore, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life.
It's one of those sports where age doesn't matter.
I have friends that are 6 years old and 60 years old, you know, that all love the same thing, so that's really cool.
And those with talent make it look so easy.
All right, Darren Aaron,
time to gear you up so you can get down.
Let's do it. Aaron catching some air.
Front side, Aaron.
Rich would be my coach. Since I'm a beginner, we started with the basics.
Push off, step on, and then I usually will turn my foot so it's facing forward, you know?
Rich taught me to push.
So this is called tic-tacking.
Kinda got it.
There you go.
Next, I learned to pump or pick up speed.
You got it.
Get your feet nice and wide and bend your knees. Nice and low.
And then it was on to the small flat.
I still made it for most of it.
Building up to a bigger one, the jump box landing.
I'm a natural.
You're doing well, you're progressing rapidly. You're not very timid, so I think we're gonna try dropping in.
This is where things got a little dicey.
Whoa, sick.
Rich helped me through the first few.
That was good.
And then I went for it on my own. Take it from me, it's much more difficult than they make it look. Not one to fall and stay down.
Okay. You got it, Aaron. Full commitment. 3, 2, 1.
I nailed it.
Yeah! Aaron strikes again.
Talent Skate Park is open, however, limited to just 10 skaters in the park at a time. To see this or other throwback Aaron segments, visit mychamplainvalley.com. For Local 44 News, I'm Erin Cofield.
Thank you, Aaron. A lot better than I would do. We'll stick in sports. The NCAA has released a major announcement for all D3 schools. Coming up, more on how our local teams were ahead of the decision.
And there's a stretch of quiet weather unfolding, but doesn't mean there's nothing to talk about. How about some 40s, maybe some 90s? Yeah, that's next.
Local news that matters on Local 44 News. Now, Chief Meteorologist Amanda Tebow with your Sky Tracker forecast.
Well, the weather changed a lot in 24 hours, but it also changed a lot in 12 hours. This morning, we still had tons of cloud cover. We had a few showers thanks to a cold front moving by, even a little bit of lightning and thunder for some of you in New York. And we had temps that were still really warm, right? We woke up this morning and it was in the 60s in a lot of spots. We made it to about 80 this afternoon, but there's that wonderful breeze from the west at 15 miles per hour. We now settle into some cooler temps, both daytime highs and and nighttime lows for a couple of days before we go right back up again. It is early August after all. We're talking near 90 several days on the 7-day forecast. But for now, let's focus in on that cold front right there. That's the culprit for not only bringing our temps down for a few days, but also helping to steer Isaias off to the northeast so quickly. It had a 40-mile-per-hour forward storm motion as it zipped through our neck of the woods. Yes, we had a lot of damage, right? But it could have been worse had this thing sat over top of us for longer. High pressure, though. That's the name of the game now. Coming in off the Great Lakes, we've got a stretch of not only cooler temps, but very quiet weather, including clearing skies tonight. There is a slim chance we get some fog to develop tomorrow morning because the soil is so saturated, but there are a few things working against that fog, one of which, the most important of which, being the air is very, very dry. Now, our dew points are very low, so if we do get fog, it's patchy at best. Otherwise, we're clear, we're cool, and we're comfy. We're dropping down to the 50s. We're already there in the Adirondacks, which means we might be able to take you to the mid and upper 40s when you wake up tomorrow morning. So certainly a great night if you want to air out the house, open the windows, maybe put a fan in the window, give the AC a break, give your electric bill a break. Tonight, Mother Nature is going to cool you down. And same thing tomorrow night, too. Tomorrow night, we're also down in the 50s. Maybe a couple of spots in the upper 40s. In between, on Thursday, you gotta dig the sunglasses out. You'll need them all day long, not just a couple of hours or a few moments like today. There are only a handful of passing clouds around on Thursday, but clouds do increase for some of us on Friday. Friday, we've got a disturbance passing to the south. Largely stays out of our hair. However, with that uptick in cloud cover, there may be just a couple of showers that pop up in southern Vermont and southern New Hampshire. Don't want to rule out that possibility, but most of us are dry through the rest of the work week and into the weekend. 70s tomorrow, mid and upper 70s to just about 80 degrees. Dew points down in the 50s, so it's not very humid tomorrow either, and we're going to stick with those lower dew points right into the weekend. They do start to creep up on us by Saturday and Sunday. You know what else is going up on Saturday and Sunday? The temp. Yeah, mid and upper 80s both days. Some of that cloud cover from Friday may still be there when you wake up on Saturday, but if you're patient on Saturday, those clouds will clear. We'll end up with a sunny afternoon. There's more sunshine on tap for Sunday too. This forecast is broken down region by region on our website. You'll find that, of course, under the word weather.
I heard you throwing around 40s in some spots. I'm getting a little nervous. It's at that time of year you accidentally leave the AC on and don't realize it's going to get that cold. You wake up freezing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just in some of our colder mountain hollows for the next couple of nights, but soon enough, the rest of us will be
it's coming here eventually.
Yeah.
Thanks, Amanda. Well, coming up in sports, UVM Athletics has released information regarding COVID-19 testing. Angelique Martinez has more on which teams are permitted to practice at UVM.
Local news that matters on Local 44 News. Now, sports with Angelique Martinez, sponsored by your New England Ford dealers.
Good evening. Tonight in sports, as schools are preparing to open up soon, UVM Athletics has released an update on COVID-19 testing within its programs. By NCAA rule, men's and women's basketball are the only two UVM teams permitted to participate in formal team practice. The teams began activity on July 20th after all student athletes met the state-mandated quarantine requirements. The men's basketball team is currently on a training pause, and pending further test results is scheduled to resume activity next week. There have been 75 tests administered to student athletes, coaches, and staff. Out of the sample, 2 people tested positive and were isolated per medical protocols. Both cases have been asymptomatic, and UVM Athletics continues daily medical check-ins and monitoring of those in isolation and in quarantine. In the NFL, the New England Patriots are prepping for the 2020 NFL modified season. And while doing so in training camp, they're welcoming Cam Newton with open arms. In today's media press conference, players noted that Cam Newton's addition to the New England roster has been a positive one. So far, players noted that he's been great and has a lot of energy. The Pats released photos of Cam Newton at training camp this week. Today, the NCAA announced that all Division III championships have been canceled for the fall season. Our local D3 teams include Middlebury, Norwich, Linden State, Plattsburgh State, and Castleton, but they have all already announced the cancellation or postponement of fall sports prior to this announcement by the NCAA. This could have an impact in pushing fall sports to the spring semester. The Board of Governors directed each division to make a decision on its fall sports championships. It also agreed to require all member institutions to apply the resocialization principles to fall sports and set a 50% sponsorship threshold for a fall sport championship to be conducted. That will do it for sports tonight. I'm Angelique Martinez. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Angelique. Well, one of Hollywood's best-known comic actors finds himself in a bit of a pickle. Coming up, the dual roles Seth Rogen takes on in his new movie.
Local news that matters on Local 44 News.
Well, in a new comedy film debuting this week on HBO Max, Seth Rogen stars opposite himself. Rick Jamagella talked with him about An American Pickle.
We are the Greenbacks, and we have American dream. I find good job in pickle factory.
Seth Rogen plays dual roles in An American Pickle.
Then one day, everything changed.
It was a challenge. I knew taking on this movie would be different than a lot of things I had done in the past for a lot of reasons.
You were able to track down a great grandson.
Greenbaum. He is shocked at how the barometers for success have changed over the years, which I very much related to in knowing my own grandparents very well, and seeing how the fact that I was in movies was not very impressive to them, but the fact that I had like a whole closet full of paper towel rolls was very impressive to them.
I have an idea. Please start big whole business. That's a very stupid idea, Herschel.
If I was just playing Herschel, this would have been probably one of the more challenging roles I had ever done, and coupled with the fact I was playing another character as well, added, not just kind of creative challenges, but logistical ones. It was a wildly technical film to make.
Is this your father? No, that's David Bowie. Is this your mother? No, that's also David Bowie.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
You know, I'm always skeptical about movies where an actor is playing two different characters ever since a certain Adam Sandler movie, Jack and Jill. That was not very good. But if there's anyone who can do it, it's Seth Rogen. Would you watch that? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think he pulls it off. I had never heard of it before we ran that just now.
Yeah, I actually watched the trailer for it yesterday, so it's funny that it would come on today. I'm looking forward to maybe watching it tomorrow.
Yeah, should be good.
And what are we looking at for the rest of this week and into the weekend weather-wise?
Pretty easy weather for the rest of this week and into the weekend, but each day is just a little bit different. So tomorrow is a lot like today, except add in more sunshine, subtract some of the wind. It is going to be a little calmer, just about a 5 to 7 mile per hour breeze tomorrow. Highs are in the mid and upper 70s. That's after most of us start the day in the 50s, though of course the mid and upper 40s. Yeah, 40s through some of our colder hollows.
All right, thank you, Amanda. We'll see you all here tomorrow night at 10.
Follow Local 44 News wherever you are on mychamplainvalley.com, Facebook, Twitter, or our mobile app.